And so, our story begins with the protagonist of our movie, Shen, returning to the martial arts school where he grew up. However, he is devastated to discover that his master has passed away, and they are currently holding his funeral. One of the people burying him is named Fan, one of the master's top students. All the students are deeply saddened, and as Shen enters the mansion, he is heartbroken to see his master being buried. Overcome with grief, he loses control and yells, "Bury me with him." But the master's senior student knocks him unconscious. When Shen wakes up, we see that an anime character brings him breakfast since he hadn't eaten for a long time. Shen refuses to eat though. At that moment, Fan arrives and tries to console him, telling him, "You need to focus on your future and not let grief consume you. We all have to move forward." But Shen, growing frustrated, begins to question the cause of death. He doesn't believe the master died of illness and is convinced something is wrong. He tells them, "Our master was healthy and had no sickness. This death isn't natural." He vows to uncover the truth and ensure his master's justice. Shortly after, we are introduced to Yo, the master's younger brother. He gathers all the students and tells them that his brother was the strongest fighter in all of China, and his fame spread worldwide after he defeated every Japanese fighter. While the students listen attentively, the Japanese ambassador suddenly enters with two powerful fighters. Disrespectfully, the ambassador barges into the martial arts school, interrupting the meeting. He brings a duck, which is an insult to their master and the entire martial arts school. He goes on to disrespect Chinese martial arts, which enrages the students. They want to fight him, but Fan stops them, reminding them that their master taught them never to strike a guest. Afterward, Shen sneaks into the Japanese martial arts school, carrying a banner, intending to insult them in retaliation. He challenges anyone who dares to fight him. A student accepts the challenge, but Shen defeats him with a single blow, and soon after, he takes down another student. Eventually, more students gang up on Shen, but he reveals his muscular physique and easily defeats them one by one. After dealing with all the students, Shen faces the Japanese master and humiliates him in front of his students. Before leaving, Shen forces the Japanese martial arts school to comply with his demands, restoring his master's honor. Just as Shen is about to leave, he spots the Japanese ambassador and hides behind a wall. The ambassador, along with all the Japanese fighters, gathers to discuss Shen's actions, including how he insulted their school. They call upon Suzuki, Japan's strongest fighter, to seek revenge on Shen for dishonoring them. Shortly after, the Japanese fighters launch an attack on the Chinese martial arts school, defeating all the students. The Chinese school is completely humiliated. When Shen returns, he is furious with Fan, blaming him for everything that happened. He tells Fan, "Because of you, we all got beaten. From today on, you have no place in this school. You put all our lives at risk by attacking the Japanese school on your own." Shen then leaves, heartbroken, because he had grown up in the school and didn't want to abandon it. That night, Mei visits Shen and urges him to sleep since he will have to leave early in the morning. But Shen, too emotional, refuses to sleep, knowing this is his last night in the Chinese martial arts school. Later, Shen overhears a suspicious conversation and discovers that a servant in the kitchen is conspiring with a Japanese fighter. Shen listens closely and learns that the servant poisoned their master, which led to his death. Enraged, Shen confronts both the servant and the Japanese spy, killing them both. The next day, Fan finds a letter from Shen explaining everything. Shen tells Fan that he killed the servant and the spy because they conspired to kill their master. Soon after, the police discover the bodies and start hunting for Shen. Fan gathers the students and informs them that Shen killed the two men responsible for their master's death. He also reveals that Shen has fled the city. Later that night, Shen is hiding near his master's grave when Mei finds him and warns him to leave the city because the police are after him. but Shen refuses, telling her that he won't leave until he avenges his master's death. The following day, the Japanese ambassador and the conspirators realize that Shen has uncovered the truth. They start fighting among themselves, afraid that Shen will stop at nothing to bring them down. That night, they hire a powerful Russian fighter to take Shen out. As the Japanese ambassador leaves, Shen, disguised, follows him to a remote location and kills him. The entire city learns of the Japanese ambassador's death, and Suzuki, the Japanese master, becomes anxious, knowing Shen is coming for him. Shen, still in disguise as an old man, monitors Suzuki's every move. Meanwhile, the police chief warns Fan that they must convince Shen to turn himself in, as the situation is becoming too dangerous. Mei tells Fan that Shen is still hiding near the master's grave, unwilling to leave until he destroys the Japanese martial arts school. At night, Shen cleverly disguises himself as a telephone repairman and sneaks into the Japanese school. He uses the opportunity to observe the students and even watches the Russian fighter, who is being prepared to face him. Suzuki is busy planning their next move, aiming to destroy the entire Chinese martial arts school. Later, Fan searches for Shen at the grave, but Shen is not there. Fan returns to the school, only to find it destroyed by the Japanese fighters, with many students dead. Upon hearing this, Shen heads to the Japanese school to confront Suzuki. As he enters, some weak students try to stop him, but Shen warns them to step aside. When they refuse, he is forced to fight and defeat them all. Eventually, Shen faces the Japanese master, who tries to fight back but is humiliated just like the others. Shen even defeats the Russian fighter, despite his strength. With Suzuki now trembling in fear, Shen pursues him into his office and delivers the final blow, avenging his master. Thus, Shen completes his journey of revenge, restoring his master's honor. And so, our movie comes to an end. If you like the movie, don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated on all our future film summaries.